Hello everybody and welcome back to Pathfinder Plays, and today we are going to be answering the question of, is Dayz worth playing? Dayz has had many ups and downs in its existence since 2013, years of massive player gains and massive drops, all for various reasons. Just earlier this year, there was this terrible bug that wouldn't let players loot anything. It would be no drag and dropping, no double clicking, nothing, and it was these kinds of bugs that made the game almost unplayable. However, and this is a very large however, this does not mean that I don't think Dayz is worth playing. On the contrary, I do believe that Dayz is worth playing, and the reason I believe it is worth playing is simply because of the community. Dayz has always been built around the community because it is the community who makes the game great. And I'm not speaking of community in a purely symbolic sense where it's the community who supports the devs and it's so nice and heartwarming and things like that. No, I'm talking about in a very literal sense, the community makes or breaks the game. The community is who you come across in-game, and it is the community that will scare you, make you laugh, make you cry, help you, or hurt you. My first time playing Dayz, I ran across 3 men. Well, 4 men actually, but the more crazier one of my traveling companions shot him in the head and he was no longer with us. So 3 men I ran across in Dayz, and we spent literally 5 hours talking together, playing together, fighting, and just surviving. For a game to have the ability to bring complete strangers from different cultures, backgrounds, ideologies together for such a long amount of time and thoroughly enjoy the experience is amazing and something to applaud. I'm not the only person who has had an experience like this. You can find thousands of people who have had stories like this because they are that common in Dayz specifically. The community is what is addicting, not necessarily the game. That being said, the game itself, though being pretty unpolished in my opinion for existing for so long, is still good. You can have some legit intense gunfights, more so than almost in any other game, with maybe the exception of Escape from Tarkov. The animations are solid enough to catch your eye and look legit, the sound of the firearm discharging, and the general ambiance is almost par none. The thing that makes gunfights so scary and so heart-pounding in Dayz is that you literally have to work for your very existence. Survival is the goal in Dayz, so when someone threatens that goal, it is exhilarating. You have loot. You spend 30 minutes or more searching around the entire world for things that you need to survive, like food, water, a knife, a gun, clothing. You make fires and you cook your meat to both keep you warm and nourish you. So the threat of somebody not only taking your life, but taking your hard-earned work is what makes the combat situation so scary and exhilarating at the same time. Purely intoxicating. There is something truly organic about the encounters in Dayz. You get to experience true and unbiased humanity, the good, the bad, the generous, and the vile. I have had experiences and encounters in Dayz that are so vile it made my lip curl. But I have also had times in Dayz that have genuinely shown the pure humanity of people and has brought tears to my eyes. Dayz is a beautiful game filled with decay. Though I don't think that Bohemia Interactive care as much as they should about the community or the game in general, the community does pick up the slack through a plethora of modded servers. The community comes together, and through their combined skills and passion for Dayz and survival games in general, create something memorable. Each server is different. Some will focus on PvP like Trump's Wall. Some will focus on hardcore survival by limiting the amount of resource spawns. Some will focus on role-playing like Dayz Underground. Each one will give you a vastly different experience. Dayz is not black and white. There will always be some nuance to it. Ultimately, the choice is going to be up to you whether or not you want to spend the money to see if the game lives up to the hype or the gripe. Personally, I would recommend waiting till Dayz is on sale, till maybe around $30 US. But regardless if you wait till it's on sale or not, you will know for a fact that no matter what, you will have quite the experience. And that's about it for me right now, ladies and gents. I thank you for coming by and listening to me give my thoughts on this very complicated and nuanced topic of DayZ, if it's good or bad or worth playing. It is rather shaded with different topics and thoughts, both valid, good and bad. I hope that it helped you make a purchasing decision, or perhaps just gave you a different perspective of how to view DayZ depending on your relationship with the game right now. I have been on both sides, and I will say that I have made 2 other videos about DayZ, one saying it is worth buying and one saying that it's not worth buying, and I stand by both those videos because they're both truly how I feel almost simultaneously all of the time. However, this video I would say is probably the most balanced in terms of pointing out difficulties that DayZ has and also the flaws that it has. I think ultimately the DayZ community is what is great, and that's what makes the game great. So, as always guys, if you like scare, survival, and scavenging, consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell button, and sharing this with your friends, and I will see you guys in the next one. Path out.